Boy, Crypto Millie back with another Jasmy update. This is going to be a quick video because I personally believe that Jasmy, right now as we speak, is in the danger zone. Now, if you are bullish on AI or you're bullish on the data and what data is to AI, then of course this is nothing to us, right? Because we know what Jasmy become in the long term. But I want to give this from two perspectives: bears and bulls. First and foremost, if you are new into crypto and you've been looking for an entry point, you probably haven't found a better entry point for Jasmy, guys. If we go to Jasmy, it's up 3% on the day. The market cap is still at 1 billion, but it was down 30% on the week. This thing went all the way down to a penny and a half, and now it's put in a V-shaped recovery. But it gave people a beautiful opportunity. But I want to talk about why I don't think that the dip is actually over. And honestly, I don't know if we will be able to get back to our point to where we can confirm that bull flag or that bull pennant, guys. So make sure that you like and subscribe and leave a comment on your current sentiment of Jasmy. But you can see here that the Bank of Japan came out and said, hey, we won't raise rates while the market is unstable, right? So a few days ago, they raised rates, markets went crazy, crashed across the world because of the Japanese yen trade, and they had to come out and have an emergency meeting and really fix things, right? So now, basically, the Japan is, attempting to turn on the money printer. Now, this could be a good thing for Jasmy, right? Because Jasmy, we know, is a real Japanese company, right? It's a real company in Japan. But I'm seeing a few things on the chart that tell me that we could get more downside. Now, from a weekly standpoint, I think we could get a nice, good recovery, right? Do we get back above 2.5 pennies? It depends on the totality of the entire market. But right now, we are peak bearish. In fact, the stock on the weekly is extremely oversold, guys. So this is huge, right? This is huge. The only thing is, I'm seeing two head and shoulders patterns here on the MACD and also the RSI, and it looks like one wants to form here, right? So this could spell trouble for the Jasmy coin. And why I believe that there's trouble, when there's smoke, there's fire, is because when we go over here to the weekly charts, you can see here that we're extremely overbought on when we go over here to the monthly charts, you can see that we're extremely overbought on the monthly chart, right? Last time we were this overbought, we came up here, bounced right here off our overbought trend line, which is around 80, and then we continue to go up. So what we need to do, if we do get confirmation of this bearish momentum, we need to come down, bounce off here, and then continue to go up. If we break 80, guys, this could be detrimental from Jasmy, and we can see Jasmy fall somewhere back down in between our support that we have about 1.5 pennies, right? So we could fall back down to 1.5 pennies or even below 1.5 pennies, and we don't want this to become resistance again. We don't want all of this structure that's being built here on the monthly to become resistance, right? We want to, like we see from this wick candle, wick down to a penny and a half, but bounce back off it. So there's going to be very telling how this weekly candle and how these monthly candle closes. So August is very important for Jasmy because Jasmy's been going crazy for the last 3 to 6 months, right? It came from 203 and at one point went all the way up to 4 pennies, guys. Insane. But now, because the market is working to price in these Fed cuts, and the Fed cuts are showing across the world that the economy is still fucked, right? So some coins are extremely oversold because they didn't have their pump yet. Jasmy did, right? So even on the monthly here, we're extremely overbought. Now, this is the monthly chart, guys, so this takes time to play out. I am not concerned about Jasmy yet unless we break 80 on the stock RSI, right? If we break 80 on the stock RSI, right, because you can see here the month, we break 80 and we start going down, that could get ugly for Jasmy because a lot of people are in profits because so many people bought the deal. You know how many people hit me up and say, I bought Jasmy initially at 203? I get that all the time in the comments. So I know a lot of people are up. And plus, this is a project that gets a lot of social engagement. So a lot of people talks about it. So I don't want to focus on per se the utility and use case. I know that Jasmy has one of the most solid use cases in the space, best partnerships, best team, right? But right now, the chart is showing a bit of weakness. Now, for the people that used to ask me when Jasmy was pumping, hey, when can I find a entry point? Guys, when we wick down here to about a penny and a half, that was a perfect entry point for any new person getting into crypto. But you have to take into consideration that you could be catching a falling knife. So what I am paying attention to for my DCA opportunities here for Jasmy is I want to see how the stock RSI reacts to our support trend line here. Excuse me, our support line here at 80, not trend line, but our support line here at 80. It's going to be, it's getting a little interesting for Jasmy, guys. But again, I want to make it clear that even on a weekly chart, we are oversold. So right now, the monthly chart is battling the weekly chart, and the bears are battering the bulls. And we just got to see how this thing turns out. We are sitting at a 1 billion market cap, so I don't expect much volatility. But with everything that's going on in Japan right now, you can see how the Japanese yen carry trade affected Jasmy. A lot of people who were doing that trade probably held Jasmy, especially if they're from Japan, and you can see why Jasmy sold off so ferociously, right? It was one of the worst sell-offs at a lot of the altcoins, right? Because this is a Japanese company, a legit Japanese company. So that type of news can really, really affect the Jasmy coin price. I'm just being honest, guys. So Jasmy is in my opinion, is in the danger zone, right? It needs to make a decision, and it's going to be depicted upon how their economy further approaches this Japanese yen situation in you know in their the yen, right? The yen, the power of the yen, whether it's bears or bullish, guys. So let me know what you think about Jasmy. I just wanted to give you guys an update on what I'm seeing on the charts. This is not a utility or use case video, but we can't ignore what's going on. I know that this looks nice and good, like okay, Jasmy is turning on the money printer, but excuse me, Japan is turning on the money printer, but Jasmy itself, right? Jasmy itself is overbought on the monthly. So this is what I'm, we're at 90, guys. This is overbought on the monthly. So just be a little bit cautious with Jasmy if you're buying the dip. What, like I said, I'm conservative. I like to get as much information as possible before I make decisions in the market, because I love my capital that I work hard for, but you got to do what's best for you guys. Let me know what you think about Jasmy. It's your boy Crypto Millie. I'll see you in the next one.